From artificial intelligence in the arts to security in the cloud, we're going to run through the top 10 technology trends that you should know for 2023. We're here with Alibaba Cloud Director Louika Mak to hear more about these technologies that could transform the way we work, the cities we live in, and help protect our climate in the coming years. Thank you for joining us, Louika.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Could you give us a little bit more context? Whose list is this, and how did they select the entries?
So Damo Academy is Alibaba Group's global international research arm. So every year they would select 10 emerging technology that is going to hold the greatest potential for mainstream adoption in the coming years. So based on a lot of the research papers, patent findings, and also interviewing over 100 scientists and specialists in their field, they would select these top 10 trends. So based on also all the studies and all the criteria they set together, a list of criteria would include industrialization, the degree of it, social values, the tech visibility as well.
Sat within Alibaba, like we are, I see a lot of these trends coming out of Damo Academy and a lot of the research that you've talked about. What would you say their key research specialities are?
Well, Damo actually stands for discovery, adventure, momentum, and outlook. Its vision and mission is really to explore the unknown through scientific and technical research and innovation. So they cover quite a lot of a large area, including robotics, which very often we've seen in autonomous driving, machine learning, we've seen a lot of application in natural language processing, as well as image search, which we are famous for, and of course for the fundamental, the computing layer on the data analytics, etc.
Let's get stuck into the list, shall we? On top of the list I can see is generative AI. Can you tell me how this technology is going to change content creation in the future?
So AI as we know it tends to be referring to the using AI to analyze existing data. But in the future, we believe that AI can be used to create content, like you said. So generative AI actually can create new and original content based on different types of data, whether they are in text, images, videos, audios, etc. Basically, in the future, if you have a smartphone, you will have the potential to be an art curator, if you like. And in the next 2 to 3 years, we think that the applications and services of generative AI would be more inclusive because they're going to be more interactive, more secure, and more intelligent.
Okay, hold up. So videos, that's what I do. So,
but they won't be able to do it as good as you.
But they will be helping us, not replacing us, right?
Totally, yeah.
Here we're talking primarily about gaming, advertising, graphic design potentially being disrupted.
That's true, yeah, you're right. Generative AI is not actually a new concept. It has been around for almost a decade now. However, the technology has evolved so much in the next couple of years, particularly like you pointed out in advertising, gaming, in writing. So currently a lot of people in those industries would be using generative AI for writing drafts and also producing prototypes. But as we briefly touched on earlier, we predicted that the technology would be more interactive, so they would be more widely adopted.
Interesting. I mean, that sounds like a tool I could use. Totally. Switching gears a bit, Alibaba wants to hit carbon neutrality by 2030.
That's correct.
So how will the next entry on this list, machine learning, help ease that transition to, say, renewable energy?
So one of the challenges for renewable energy is the fact that they're highly unpredictable, right? Solar, hydro, wind. You can't really, or let's say utility companies find it hard to integrate them into their power grid. So with AI technology combined with the mathematical calculations, very often we call them the dual engine approach, can be used to help make decisions faster, more accurate, and more effective. So in other words, with the dual engine approach, we can help utility companies to make more accurate forecasts in a more timely manner. So moving forward in the future, this kind of technology can be applied to other areas such as logistics, like airport parking, as well as even day-to-day manufacturing process.
So looking ahead, Damo predicts that we're all going to be a bit more cloud native in the coming years, and we're going to feel more secure about it, they say as well. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, sure. Not just Damo. In fact, lots of the analyst firms such as Gartner has predicted that by 2025, in 2 years' time, 85% of the organizations will be embracing what we call the cloud-first approach. And 95% of the newly created digital workload will be on cloud-native platform.
95%?
Exactly, yeah. So it's a huge amount of increment at the moment, or in 2021, the percentage was only 30%.
Oh, that's a huge growth.
The benefit of cloud native is really to provide a very consistent environment for the developers to build new technology, new apps, improving on existing one, but more importantly, to connect them all together, whether you're on private cloud, public cloud, or hybrid cloud. So when it comes to it, a lot of these applications will become based on the cloud-native platform, and you want your application to be more secure, to be trusted and reliable. So on that front, we see that security will be built into every stages of the software development cycle rather than an afterthought. In other words, our application and our usage should be more protected.
I think it's a truism to say now that algorithms are transforming industries, media for one, obviously. Yeah. But looking at it from the other way round, how will we be training the AIs going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, like us, human beings have developed different senses for us to better understand the world. We also expect AI to learn from different sources before they can make decisions or take action. So we expect AI to be learning from different formats of data, whether it's numbers, images, voices, speeches, etc. So on that, we have a new technology called multi-modular pre-trained models. What they do is they can process data in different formats simultaneously, but also adding the cognitive intelligence capability. So computers and AI can be better at understanding our reasoning, answering questions more intelligently, and also better at summarizing scenarios. So, for example, in the corporate world, AI can actually help improve productivity with a better reasoning.
We all have to be more productive these days. Look, I'm not the best photographer in the world, and my social media presence is suffering for it probably. Will technology ride to our rescue with the next item on this list, computational imaging?
I think both you and I am not great with photography, but nowadays on the smartphone we can see a lot of new functions that really help us turning a smartphone into a traditional professional camera, right, without the lenses and tripod, etc. So functions such as low lighting imaging would be very useful in nowadays the photography or consumer photography. However, we also see that computational imaging can be useful for professionals such as healthcare and autonomous driving when the quality of the images is going to be key for their success.
In the future, we, industries, algorithms are all creating more and more data. But how will machines manage it all, and where are all those terabytes going to sit?
Yeah, well, you have a good point on the rapidly increasing amount of data. So particularly, a lot of those data are no longer just attaching to the computer, right? It's going to be from all over the world. So we believe that processing in memory, in other words, the integration of the center processing unit, CPU, is going to be integrated with a memory in one chip. In one single chip, data can be directly processed, which means that a lot of the energy will be saved, time will be saved, and also it will lead to the shifting of the computing-centric architecture into data-centric. Well, after we talk all the items on AI and IoT, Internet of Things, it's all based on data. So we need data to be processed much faster and directly in memory, so that is going to change significantly for the next generation of cloud computing.
So more efficient and energy saving.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Look, Luika, scanning the rest of the list, we've not hit all of them yet. So can you sum up some of the remaining entries? Sounds fascinating. What's a chiplet?
Yep.
And this other one, large-scale urban digital twins. Tell us more.
Quite a mouthful, right? So chiplet is actually powered by a new technology called advanced packaging technologies. Our scientists believe that it's going to change the R&D process for integrated circuits and also changing the landscape of the chip industry. And more interesting for the large-scale urban digital twins, it's going to redefine city planning. We probably have seen quite a lot of those progress in recent years, including in smart traffic, in disaster prevention and management, more often now looking at how they can help with carbon neutrality, achieving the goals for countries and organizations, right? So in the future, we believe that the large-scale urban digital twins is going to be more autonomous and multidimensional to make it more effective for planning in other areas as well.
Thank you so much, Luika, for your time and for your insights. It's been great having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us, and wishing you all a great 2023.